1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't think I need to actually say 1, 2, 3 with it.
All right, dude. Our first one, bro.
We got this.
Let's do it, man.
Do you want to do the intro?
Yeah.
Oh my! I think I yelled too loud.
That was so. That was wild as shit. That's why it's like feedback protection.
Sorry, guys.
Holy shit.
Yeah, look at the spike. No yelling.
All right, dude. You want to start it off? All right, well. Hey, all right, well. This is the first one of the Underdog podcast, dude. So we're here.
I'm Brady.
I'm Gaige. And I don't know, we're just gonna start off with a little introduction and to who we are and just about us, so you guys can get familiar with us. So yeah, dude. So Brady, you want to start it off real quick, or?
I'll start it off.
For sure.
So my adventure to here pretty much started when I was 13. I used to skateboard a shit ton.
Hell yeah.
Basketball, soccer, a little bit of football. I was like the all-around athletic kid,
Yeah.
And then my brother introduced me to this wonderful drug named marijuana.
Yeah.
And once I started doing that, it kind of went downhill.
Are you from Arizona?
I'm originally from Chicago.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Moved here when I was 5, so kind of grew up here.
Yeah.
In like Ahwatukee area.
Yeah, right.
I love the area, hate the people.
Yeah. I agree.
You meet some cool people there, but like they're all kind of scummy,
Yeah, I feel.
But yeah, so I started smoking, and then in high school, freshman year, I still played basketball. I should have played soccer, but I kind of was lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout all of high school, I kind of had a college life in high school, drinking all the time, partying. Like there'd be my house is right next to my high school, and so everyone would come to my house before. We play beer pong before school.
Oh, that's savage, dude.
And then when we had to go to school, they'd all be like, all right, let's go to school. I'm like, I'll stay here. You know? And then that went on for throughout all of high school, essentially. And then junior year high school, I was like super depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Was throwing a little kickback for me and my friends, and my brother's friend came over with another crew of people from my high school, and like they kind of took over the party, I guess. And so I got super like anxious and like upset about the situation. Called my brother, was like, yo, I'm not in a good place right now. And he's like, just party, have a good time, we'll deal with it tomorrow. Yeah. And so that night I took like 50 Benadryl.
Oh, what the fuck?
I wanted to end it, basically.
Yeah.
And I woke up a week later in the hospital. I guess a bunch of fucked up shit happened while I was in the hospital. Like they had to handcuff me to it.
Damn.
And then so that whole thing happened. After that, I kind of lived in solitude because my mom sent me over to my dad's place. And he lived over in Levine, which is like south of Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was still going to the same high school, so like I had no way of hanging out with people because my dad would pick me up and then take me to school every day. And I'm super thankful for the overdose because this is the time when like I started like thinking about why people act the way they act, why they do the things they do, why they say the things they say.
Right.
And from that, I like kind of figured out who I was, as a person.
And what age were you?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay.
18. And like occasionally I'd still hang out with some friends, but like it was all like bullshit at that point.
Yeah.
After high school, I went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts.
Mm-hmm. That's where it all started?
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
I originally went there because like I was making music in my little apartment.
Yeah.
And, like I had an MPC, keyboards, mics, and all that. I had like a little home studio. And and I wanted to make music essentially. So I went there. They don't teach you how to make music there. They teach you how to like perfect music, I guess. Like makes bad stuff sound good or make stuff sound better, essentially.
Right.
But it was still cool. Like I got my engineering mindset from that whole process.
So they didn't teach you like exactly how to produce or like make a beat or like
they teach you how to produce, not make a beat.
Though. Oh, okay. So, like, just this is the basically the beginning steps of all of it pretty much, or like
the beginning, the very beginning and the end. Like I guess they teach you like the technical side of the whole process, like recording,
right?
But like actually music theory, all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, right.
I know nothing about, and I've not had the patience to like learn how to play piano or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I wish I actually. Like, for my childhood, the one thing I wish was I learned an instrument.
Right, dude, same here. I agree.
But now I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I definitely have the time, just not the patience.
Right.
And so, yeah, I did really well in that. It was weird because it was a class of 12 to start off. Mm-hmm. And, like, after the first week, we had 1 week of class and then a week break because of Christmas. When we came back, our class of 12 was now a class of 6 because like 6 people just dropped out because like, oh, I just came here to make beats, you know? So there's like 6 other people just like me, but I like stuck through it. And by the end of graduation, I believe there was 3 or 4 of us. Mm-hmm. And so it was a super small class, which is cool, but like not the best for like networking.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And the one like I guess resentment I have towards them is they promise you like internships for life. Mm-hmm. And after I graduated and like a year and a half down the road, I hit them up and was like, hey, can you hook me up with an internship? No response.
Really?
Went in there, tried getting a hold of someone, nothing. So
yeah,
I was like,
that's a fucked up thing about like school and shit, dude. Because like, yeah, you get all these promises and stuff, and then sometimes it just doesn't work out, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
It's just fucking sad, dude.
I have like a weird gripe against colleges and stuff like that because like I see its worth like with like networking and like there are some fields that need education.
Exactly. Like you want to become a doctor, obviously you're gonna need to go to school, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But then there's things like computer sciences, like you can learn all that shit.
Exactly, yes.
And you'll get a job if you have a resume rather than having a degree.
Yes, that's very true.
And so like I understand the worth of it, but at the same time I'm like I do everything myself, which is a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to have, though, to do everything yourself, you know? It's a good trait to have because you're motivated, you know? Because most people, like, some people go to school and it's because they have to go to school, you know? It's not necessarily because I want to become a doctor, I want to do this, but I don't know, when you do it by yourself, though, it makes it that much more meaningful, like, passionate, dude, you know? I think that shit's awesome.
Funny story. So senior year, you know, this is junior year of high school, going into summer of junior year. My brother was coming over to a party, and I called him up. I was like, yo, bring more beer. Mm-hmm. And my mom heard because she was driving him to the party. And so she's like, all right, you got to come out. Like, you're drinking too much and all this. And she put me on, like, house arrest. And part of the house arrest was I had to write a 1,500-word essay each week.
What the fuck?
In order to leave the house.
Yeah.
And the first essay she gave me was, why is graduating from college a better idea than like dropping out from college? So I wrote my essay on the people who are successful and are dropouts are more successful than those that graduate from college.
Wow, was she pissed?
She was like, all right, we're not doing this anymore.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, I always take a way of twisting the topic into my favor.
A little smart ass.
But yeah, so I mean, I kind of had that mindset that like people who do things on themselves and like are super passionate and motivated, like they're gonna like be successful regardless.
Right.
You know?
That's very true, dude. Yeah. When you have that passion, it's just like nothing can get in the way of that, you know.
Essentially, yeah. And then after that, like I was living on my own for a while, serving, bartending.
Yeah.
During that time, like I do random stuff. Like I didn't I did smoke weed a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Like would venture into like coke occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
Molly, all this other stuff, and then one week I had like these really bad calf pains, and I was like, fuck, this sucks. It's a week long, like I'm losing sleep over this. And one of my friends was like, oh, try this, give me an Oxy 15.
Oh.
And from there it just went downhill.
Oh god, dude. Yeah.
Because I was making money, and so I was like, well, why do I have to just bum off of this guy? I can buy my own. So I started doing it. It became habitual at that point. And so it was a habit for like 5 years roughly.
Right. How was it in the beginning though? Like if you could describe the beginning of when you started taking oxys and shit though, you know, like was it fun or like?
Yeah, it was super innocent because like I had no knowledge over like the repercussions of my actions.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, this is like cocaine but better, you know, because I hate uppers. And so like I only did a half of 15 the first time, and I just remember I was like, this is fucking awesome.
That euphoria just kicking in, dude. Right.
And then I did a 15 the next time, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And it wasn't like it spiked drastically after that. Like for probably a year or two, I'd do like a 15 here and there type of thing. But yeah, once I started making decent money, I was like, I'm going to start buying it now instead of just getting hooked up. And then like it spiked. At one point, I was doing like 300 milligrams a day type of thing.
That is fucked up, dude.
Yeah, it was an expensive habit.
Yeah, it's definitely an expensive habit, dude. And what, you just like, did you ever even get to experience withdrawals, or you had enough money where you'd always have it?
I had enough money for sometimes, but like eventually I like came clean because I was stealing pills from my mom.
Oh, yeah.
And she got called for a pill count. And I was like, Mom,
really?
You can't go to that pill count. Like, none of those pills you have are
Wait,
real.
so what do you mean? A doctor what do you mean by that pill count?
So if you get a script for opiates, occasionally they might randomly call you and be like, hey, we need to do a pill count to make sure that you're taking them as needed.
I have never known that.
Yeah.
What?
And so, like, typically anyone that I've ever bought from, they, like, sell and they actually take them, too, you know?
Yeah.
They'll sell a portion of it and keep a portion just in case that pill count comes in.
Oh,
and then, like, once it gets closer to, like, their next, what's it called, meeting or whatever, they'll release the other batch, essentially.
Right.
And so, I was like, you can't do those. Those are all Advils. Like, you can't go in. And so she freaked out.
You put Advils in there?
I put Advils that I highlighted green.
Oh, my God.
The funniest thing is she's a nurse, too, so she knows what they look like and stuff.
Right.
But I think she probably knew, you know? She started using, like, a lockbox to hide him. And I learned lockpicking from that. Like, there's nothing stopping me.
Holy fuck,
I was gonna get what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then like I took pride in the fact that like I wasn't taking other people's money for my shit. Like I was spending my own money. Like of course I wasn't doing cool shit. Like eventually I had to move back in with my mom or whatnot, but like I still wasn't spending my own. I was only spending my own money. And then I got introduced to these fentanyl pills that were fentanyl lace Oxy 30s. And
do they still make those, or is that even a?
It's like Mexican made.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And so like it's sketch because you don't know how much potency it's gonna be. It's like some batches, like you get one and be like, this is fucking awesome. And then other batches, you're like, oh, I gotta take more.
Yeah. That is fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks how it's like that.
Yeah. You want something consistent, but as a dope fiend, you also don't care.
Yeah. Very true.
Double standards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was like 4 or 5 months before like going to rehab. And then like during this time, like I started stealing from my work. Like I stole laptops to sell and make money and stuff. And I always rationalized it like, oh, my boss didn't give me a raise, and you know. Yeah. And then like essentially the thing that led me to the rehab was a week before I was like, yo, I got no money. I lost my job because he eventually found out.
Yeah.
I lost my job, no money. It's like I have $0 in my account. I know that I can withdraw up to $600 under.
Okay.
And so I took out $600, bought as many pills as I could, and was like, I'm gonna party it for a week and then cash out on life, you know?
So this is before you went to rehab?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just like one last hoorah, pretty much. Okay, yeah.
One last hoorah, and then my plan was to like kill myself at the end of it.
Oh, okay.
And then like 2 days before the whole like kill myself thing happened, I was like, you know what, like, it's kind of silly, but I was like, there's some TV shows that I want to know how they end.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of want to keep living, you know? Yeah. And so I started looking up rehab centers, and all of them were like stupidly priced, or like you needed $10,000 to get in, and then $1,000 a week or whatever. And so I was like, I don't know what to do. My sister ended up texting me, and I was like, yeah. She's like, where are you? And I was like, oh, I'm looking for rehab centers. She's like, oh, cool. Let me talk to him. My mom's a nurse, so she talked to her friends, and they eventually referred me to Banner Health inpatient.
Right.
Which was fucking awful.
Yeah. How long were you there for?
2 days.
Oh.
I tried.
2 days.
I tried escaping.
Oh, how?
So I was like, I could have signed myself out,
Mm-hmm.
but it was nighttime and the doctor wasn't there, so I had to wait till the morning.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is fucking awful. So my first plan was to like donkey kick one of the windows and just crawl through it. But then I realized like it's a thick glass. They probably like reinforce it. And so I was like, all right, next plan. And I saw the roof. There's like those ceiling tiles that you can like scoot and push.
Right, right.
And like there's these windows with like 4-foot ledges at each like interval of 4 feet. There's a ledge. And so I started climbing up it. I got to the roof tile and I started sliding it over. And like these little ledges are like maybe 6 inches at most. So my whole body is resting on this 6-inch ledge. And I just fall off and eat shit. And like made this loud clap noise.
Did they come in there?
No, I looked around and no one noticed. I was like in the open hallway, you know. And so I was like, yeah, I'll just sign myself out in the morning. Signed myself out, went to a homie's house for the night, and then...
So because you said before that you couldn't sign yourself out, so you forged a signature? Or?
No, I could sign myself. It was nighttime, so the doctor wasn't in. I needed to sign myself out with the doctor.
Right. They have to approve of that
shit.
Yeah, okay, I see.
And so after that, I got picked up by a friend, went to his house for the night, and like messaged my mom. I was like, hey, I'll be there tomorrow at 10. We'll talk about options.
Yeah.
And so I talked to her. I was like, I can't do inpatient. Like, inpatient, like, there's no mental stimulation, like, nothing to distract me. So I'm just sitting there, like, thinking about getting fucked up the entire time. And so I, like, withdrawed for a while. And, like, my mom understood what was going on. And then she found the Pathway program. Yeah. Went to check it out. And it was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So I went into it, and I went into it like closed-minded, like I'll be in there for 8 weeks, and then.
Right, dude. Yeah, that's what everyone goes through, man. And it's a trip when you start getting sober, for sure. Yeah, it's a fucking trip. So I mean, since you've started Pathways at treatment center, I mean, like, what has your experience been like though?
It's been sweet. Like the first 2 weeks, I was still getting fucked up.
Right. Okay.
I was taking tramadols.
Oh, really? You're taking tramadols?
Yeah. Whenever I come, like anytime I've ever gone through withdrawals, I always take tramadols to like, come off of it. Like I've been sober for months at a time, but I always end up going back. And so that's kind of how I've always done it. And so my mindset was like, well, this is what I always do, you know? Yeah. And so once I got like sober and clean and stuff, like. It was a trip because, like, I was still, like, super reserved in my own ideas. Yeah. I'd be like, oh, I did outpatient. I did the function. I did the meetings. Now I'm going to go home and, like, chill by myself, you know?
Right, dude.
And, like, once I started, like, putting 2 feet in and, like, indulging in the program, like, it's been fucking awesome. Good shit's happened. Like,
yeah, dude.
And I've just been more motivated to do stuff, which is cool.
That's fucking awesome. And by the way, too, this is not a sobriety podcast. This is just our experience. This is just completely our experience of our life. And, you know, so you guys can get to know us. And I just think that's fucking awesome that, you know, your life has changed around from fucking overdosing and then, like, actually becoming a person that you want to be, you know? And, I mean, dude, like, I also want to know, too, just, like, you know, because I know you're into, like, all this shit, like, producing and, like, you were making beats and all this type of shit. I mean, are you trying to like actually go somewhere with that or do something with that? Or what is like your kind of like your goal in life? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, so like originally it was just a hobby, you know, because I would listen to music while like stoned and I'd be like, oh, this shit's fucking awesome, you know, and I'd start hearing new artists, new sounds that like I didn't hear before, and I was like, this is fucking cool. And so I started making just little beats here and there, which was fun, but it's kind of a pattern with me. Whenever like something gets tough, I kind of throw it away.
Yeah, I completely get that.
Because like I'm naturally good at a lot of things, and so whenever a challenge comes up, I'm like, which is kind of contradictory because I have like a problem solving mindset.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't like challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I didn't bring this up, but like while I was living on myself, I like started a clothing line with my roommate.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
So yeah, the clothing line was Modern Day Robin Hood, MDRH. 15%. The Robin Hood part is like 15% of our profits went to charity.
Yeah.
And we were doing cool shit with that. We'd like go to skate parks, hand out shit for people. Mm-hmm. We'd find local artists, like give them clothes to rep, and like just kind of like expand as much as possible, like giving free shit away so that they'd rep it like in the music video or something like that. And then
what type of style was it though? Like,
I got a shirt on right now.
Oh, that's it right there. All right, fuck yeah, dude. That's actually dope.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like graphic tees for the most part. We had a bunch of designs. I don't have many of them. I think I gave most of them to Goodwill because I kind of wore the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just graphic tees. We eventually had like, I want to say we had like the baseball tees and all that stuff. It was mainly catered to guys.
Yeah, yeah.
We didn't really venture into like the female lines or anything like that. But like from that, I also had another company with another friend that lives in Texas for web design, web development. And then I kind of was like producing a couple local artists, rappers and stuff. And essentially the whole thought process was like find a bunch of passionate, talented people that like love doing what they do, like help them progress and have them help other people progress.
Right, okay.
And so like that was really cool during that time. There's like this one group that I produced was like a DJ, a rapper, and a drummer. And so like the DJ would spin beats, the drummer would drum on top of it, get some like rock type of vibes out of it, like kind of like Travis Barker.
Yeah, Travis Barker.
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
kind of like him. And then
like he'd do the spin off of fucking like rap songs and shit.
Yeah,
okay.
And then the rapper, like he would just rap on top of it, obviously.
Right.
It's just crazy because like all of them are pretty successful in what they do. I don't think the drummer's doing anything, but the rapper like ghost rides for like Drake and shit, and then the DJs in California, he like spins for like local parties for rappers and shit.
That's
like,
fucking dope.
So yeah, I'm kind of bummed that I didn't like stick it out with them.
Yeah.
But like they kept going, and it was funny because like I always hated people that didn't have passion, and I became that person,
dude. Right.
And so like it's something that I'm like getting back into with the music. As far as like I would like to like do music for a living type of thing, but realistically like it's a hobby for me, and I'm gonna keep that mindset because I feel like a lot of people go into a field like music, acting or whatever, and they do it for the wrong reasons.
Right, dude. I think it always starts as being a hobby, you know, being something where it's just like, oh, like this is fun. Then like maybe one day you get a paycheck from it, you're like, holy shit, I'm getting paid for something I want to do, you know? And I think that's so fucking true. Like songs you start out with it being a hobby, you have that passion for it, and that's where it could usually lead into bigger and better things. So,
I mean, as long as you put the effort and like the time into it, you will be successful in it.
Right.
I mean, different people have different definitions of successful, but like you'll be able to do what you love and like love doing it, essentially.
So what's your definition of successful?
My definition of successful is like happy and blissful, you know, like you there's not much weighing you down as far as like materialistic things. Like you've got what you want, and like you're owning your own life essentially.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's a relatively easy goal as long as you like find what you want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And then do it. And I understand there's like real life factors, like, oh, you need to make money, so like get a job or whatnot, but like you can still work and like do your other shit too and be happy, you know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people complain about their jobs. Like, well, get a job that you're happy with, or, you know. And even for those people that are in jobs that like dead end jobs or whatever that they hate, like you can make it fun or entertaining or exciting. Like you're the one with the mindset that, oh, my job sucks.
Yeah,
so
it is about perspective when it comes to that shit. You know? It really is. My
ultimate dream job, though, I've thought about this, and I don't think it'll ever happen just because of who I am. A comedian. Oh, dude. I would love to be a comedian. Dude, it'd be so fucking dope to be a comedian. I was literally thinking about that like last week because, dude, I watch a lot of Joe Rogan and Hannibal Buress podcasts. Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, like, just like they're, I don't know, like their charisma and the way that they are, and just like and they talk about their job, and so it just sounds so fucking cool, dude, to be a comedian, make people laugh, you know, bring a smile to people's faces. Like, yeah, that's my main reason, is like I get enjoyment from making other people happy, and so like doing that for a living would be fucking awesome. Yeah, but like the start of that is like doing stand up. You know, or writing, I guess. Writing, like, yeah, that would be the start right there. Yeah, and like I've tried written stuff and it just doesn't work out. I'm more of like a situational, like I have to vibe off of other people, you know. Did you try your written stuff on people though? Did you try like actually? Honestly, no. I just would read it and be like, that's fucking stupid. Dude, you should try it on people sometime, for real. I might have the Google Doc still, but like, like it was like for a while I was trying to write raps or whatever, and we all went through that. I'd read them back and I'm like, this is stupid. Yeah, dude, I went through that super heavy, just writing raps. You come home after school, just write fucking raps and shit, and then like I found my notebook of raps like a few months ago actually, and I looked at it and I was like, what the fuck was I doing? Like the stupidest shit I was writing down. I was like, dude, and I know I was high as fuck. Like, I think it'd be interesting. I'll try to find my Google Docs and you try to find your notebook. Yeah, dude, no, I can't. We'll bring it up. Yeah, dude, we gotta do that. We gotta bring that shit on here. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome, bro. But yeah, dude, I mean, I'm just glad to be fucking doing this with you, to be honest. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. And like I just think like what I want to know too, like what do you want to do with this? You know, this? Like, yeah, with this, like, what do you want it to look like? And I want even the viewers to know that, you know, like what we want to try to create for them, like their experience and shit. Because I have things of my own, but I also want to bring that together with you. Yeah, you know. So yeah, I've thought about it, and it's one of those things that I feel like is gonna organically grow. Right. And I think we're both open-minded to letting that happen. Yeah. But I've thought of a lot of stuff. Like, I think it's cool to find people that are passionate about it, because like when you talk to them about it, like you can tell that they're like genuinely passionate about something, rather than just being a zombie going through the motions. So I think it'd be cool to get a bunch of like people like that on to like kind of not necessarily inspire, but just like see different perspectives. Yes, I agree. Different perspectives, share their experience, you know, let us know about, you know, what it's like in their head. Yeah. Different perspectives. I totally fucking get that. Yeah. And then like it's beyond that, like I was thinking about it, and one group that I fucking love is the Gorillas. Yes, dude. Absolutely. And the reason why I love them is because, one, they have like a bunch of, none of their albums are the same. They use a bunch of sounds that you don't typically hear in pop music, and they're technically pop music. Right. But they also give a platform to people that like are super good at what they do, like artists and stuff, and they give them a like this group that no one knows who they are or anything like that to like perform with, and like give them a platform to like reach the next level type
Wait,
of thing.
what do you mean by that? What do you mean? They do that for?
Yeah, so like the Gorillaz are just one person. It's the lead singer of a band called Blur.
I thought Gorillaz had like 4 or 5 people in it. With I thought there was like the black guy in it. There was like a woman in it.
No, it's
Are
just,
you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's just one person. His
the
name's
British guy.
Yeah, Damien Albarn.
Right,
or whatever.
I saw an interview with him. Yeah,
it's him, and then the character designer, like the artist, basically. Right. They had an apartment. There's a documentary about it that's fucking awesome that I love. It's called like Gorillaz Going Bananas or something like that.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's these two people, they came together and they were like, pop music sucks. Like, they were watching MTV and they're like, pop music is a joke now. And so they kind of wanted to make a band to kind of parody pop music, but they also wanted it to be like not a face attached to it, you know?
Right.
And so they came up with the idea of like creating cartoon characters. And so it's just them. But like anyone else that comes on is just like featuring, you know.
Okay.
And so they do have some reoccurring people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know like De La Soul is on a couple of their songs and a few other people. But yeah, the main thing is like, because if it was just the one guy singing, like there would kind of be a face behind it. So they get other people.
It threw people off, dude. It threw me fucking off. I didn't even know that, to be honest. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Once I found out, like, once I took an interest to them, I was like, I gotta know everything about this. Yeah. And so I started researching and shit. And so, like, I think that would be a cool thing, too, is, like, kind of also, like, give a voice to people that don't typically have a voice, you know? Like,
that's so true. Yeah.
Like one thing, like skaters or like graffiti artists, like they kind of have a bad rep, you know? Like, skating on public property, graffitiing tunnels or whatever. Like, and really, like if you think about it, with like graffiti, like we have billboards everywhere. Like we don't get paid to watch it or to look at all this stuff. Like they're advertising in our faces. Like I don't get why it's so bad for someone to like sprucing up the place with like more than just concrete walls and
with fucking art, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally art.
Like there are some people that will just write like, "Oh, fuck you."
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
But like there are people out there that like love the art aspect of it, you know, and I don't know, it's a good cool skill to have, you know.
Definitely.
And just to see like kind of like these renegades, you know, that like do things because they love them, not necessarily because it's a societal norm, you know? And so I don't know, like I'm super open-minded with this whole process, but yeah, just like the whole like giving a voice to people who might not necessarily have a voice, and that like just like get into other people's perspectives on life and other things in general.
Yeah, dude, I totally get that, dude, because I see what you mean behind all that, just because, like, there are so many people, like, like skaters, graffiti artists, even just regular artists that do graphic design, like, because you think about it, dude, like, there are so many things, like, let's give it, for instance, like, an artist, you know, like, say, like, Drake, or, like, some just huge rapper, or, like, or even, like Drake having a ghostwriter, you know?
Yeah.
Like, no one ever gives the ghostwriter a fucking voice, you know? Like, what's the person that helped make this fucking beautiful art, you know? Like, I think that's so fucking cool. Like, when you put it in that perspective, it's just like, let's give them a voice and see how they are with everything, see, you know, what they think about this music and everything. So
I mean, even like the famous like Drake and shit, let's like Jim Carrey, because he had this one like freak out interview that people are freaking out about, like Jim Carrey doesn't exist. Like,
yes, dude, right, he was on some weird shit though,
but it kind of makes sense because like you kind of like when you're in the limelight like that, like you have to portray your character. You're selling yourself essentially to the public and stuff, and like they are still human. They still have their own voice, but like if they were to, I don't know, portray their voice as they wanted to, it's contrary to like. And
then they're like, "Oh fuck!" Like, "Oh shit, he's acting different." Like,
he's not a funny guy all the time. What the fuck,
dude? That's so real.
And so, like, I just believe there's like a lot of people out there that don't get the chance to voice like their actual perspective on life or whatever the topic is, you know?
Yeah, dude, and that's the sad thing about now with like social media and just like honestly the way this generation is just like we all have to try to fit in.
Yeah.
You know? Like the whole thing of just like I don't know, the whole thing of just like, dude, like it is cool to fucking have 1,000 followers on Instagram now. It is cool. Like you are considered almost like
E-famous.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, E-famous, dude, where people are like, oh shit, like, you know, you look at a girl's profile or a guy's profile and they have 1,000 followers, like, oh shit, they're fucking popular, you know? When in reality, maybe some of them could have been bought, but
not only that, but they don't know anyone.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, right.
There's no genuine connections being made or anything.
Right, dude, and it's like starting to become, and what's really fucked up now, it's that, you know, it's cool, it's starting to become cool to try to be different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when people, it's a lot more of like when people like something, they want to say they don't like it.
Yeah.
And be
the
like,
whole hipster attitude.
Yeah, so the whole hipster thing, dude, where it's just like, oh, you like that? Well, I like this, and this is fucking underground, and this is different. And like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of underground music that's fucking great. I'm into that shit. You know, I get called hipster and shit, but it's not because of that. It's not because I'm trying to portray this certain image. It's just because, like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to, I want to listen to something that is going to catch me off guard and be different to my fucking ear, you know? So.
Yeah, whenever we drive in the car and, like, we went to Helltree once.
Yeah.
And we were driving up, we were listening to the, like, just a bunch of electronic songs. And Morgan after a while was like, all these songs sound the same, or why do I feel like I've been listening to the same song? I was like, because they all sound the fucking same. Like
these electronic songs.
As far as like music goes, like I love dubstep, I love hip hop, I love all this stuff, but like the things I keep going back to are like the ones that are unique, you know? And like kind of like the needle in the haystack, you know?
Yeah.
And I fucking hate labels.
Me too. I agree. I hate labels also.
Yeah, so like when people like, I feel like it's always like an excuse to like put someone in a different category. Yeah. You're like, oh, you're a hipster. Like, no, I just don't like the same music as you.
You're just you. You know? You're just you. Like, that's just pretty much fucking it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like, I fucking hate that too. And people are like, oh, like, so you don't like this and you like this, so I'm going to put you in this category. Or you don't like this and you don't like this, but you like this, I'm going to put you in this category. Yeah. It doesn't fucking make sense, you know? It doesn't at all, because it's just limiting ourselves. I feel like it limits the person that we can fucking be, because we're getting ridiculed for being this person, or that we don't fucking like a song that you like, or that, you know, I like a song that you don't like, you know? I just think there needs to be more open-mindedness.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people just need to realize, like, and it's awful on the internet, once someone has a different opinion than you, like, you basically go to war with that person. Yeah. And it's like, why?
Yeah, dude.
Why?
I don't get that, dude. And
I think it's like, I honestly think it boils down to like a lot of people aren't comfortable with themselves, you know? And so when someone like calls out them, like they like go to war essentially.
Yeah, they feel offended, dude. Yeah, I totally used to be that type of person, dude, where like where if I like something and someone said they didn't like it, or that, you know, or they talk shit on it, where I felt like I had to prove to them that they like it. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like,
the perfect example is if someone has ever shown you a YouTube clip, like, oh, you gotta watch this, it's so funny.
Yes, dude.
And like you watch it and they stare at you while you watch it, because they want to see if you laugh or not. And like I'm typically a silent laugher, so like I like. And like they'll be like, did you not think that's funny? Right. And typically the answer is no, but like when I do find it funny, like I'm not like and so it's just like, oh, it's just an awkward situation.
Dude, that shit is awkward as fuck. I know exactly what you mean by that.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. But fucking but yeah, dude, I mean, is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Not about me. I want to talk about you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude, fuck it. Yeah, let's fucking definitely do that. Well, dude, I mean, pretty much like a story like yours. I mean, I never fucking overdosed though, but I mean, I'm also considered to be a drug addict, you know, and I'm in the program right now, but I mean, it all started. I mean, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, first of all, and I pretty much moved to Arizona because my dad he was just a sketch fuck, dude.
Yeah.
You know, totally like banging and shit and just like selling drugs and shit. My mom wanted to get away from that. So, you know, of course, where's the place that all these people go to get away from things and fucking just go to get away from the cold? Arizona. Yeah. So it's just like it made sense for us. And so I grew up in Arizona pretty much. And I think that you know, I think that I had a fucking great childhood, to be honest. You know, like my mom was a hardworking person. She fucking when she had me, she was 19, so she was in college and she was traveling and doing all this shit. So I'd stay with my aunt and all these you know, all types of family that also moved out here. And like, dude, like I was just, you know, growing up, like I fucking didn't have my mom always around me. I'd have my aunt and shit, and like they'd try to tell me what to do, and I'd be like, "You're not my fucking mom."
Yeah,
so it's like it was hard for me to listen to them. It was hard for me to listen to anyone except my mom.
Yeah.
And dude, it's just like I fucking, you know, played football, fucking played basketball. You know, for some reason it just didn't click with me though. Like, you know, it was so cool to score a touchdown. It was so cool to make a basket and all this type of shit. But I was like, damn, like this isn't, you know, what I want to do. And I remember I picked up a fucking skateboard, dude, because I'd always see these kids skating and all this shit. And I picked it up and I started skating. And it was the one, I don't know if you remember this, but it was a fucking skateboard where it had fucking handles on it that you can fold down on the skateboard.
No,
so
I never
it turns,
saw that.
yeah, dude. So it turns from a scooter to a fucking skateboard.
That's
and
awesome.
shit. It was the most janky shit ever, bro.
That's sick.
And
Was it plastic?
yeah, dude, it was plastic and the wheels like the bearings didn't even fucking work, dude.
Yeah.
It was just like so ridiculous. And so I started doing that, and like one day, dude, it's so crazy because not a lot of people know this, but you know what Van Skate Park is? It's it's in California, but it's a very, very big skate park. Like it's very well known in the United States, and they used to have one in Arizona, and every Sunday my mom would take me there. And it was so crazy because not a lot of people were skating at this time. It felt like in Arizona.
Yeah.
So we go there, and I'd have sometimes this entire skate park to myself, just by myself in the skate park,
That's
just
fucking
skating.
dope.
And yeah, dude, and fucking there's one time this girl came there and she's like, "Hey, fucking do you know how to drop in?" And I was like, "I don't know how to do any of that stuff, you know." And she taught me how to drop in. And ever since then, dude, it fucking took off. Like, I started skating every fucking day. I started fucking, like, you know, actually getting dropped out the skate park to be there by myself without having my mom fucking sit there and all this type of shit. And obviously, you know, growing up in that type of setting, there's a lot of people smoking weed, a lot of fucking fights. I've seen a lot of fights, dude, at the fucking skate park.
Yeah.
You know, like grown people getting in fights, kids getting in fights. We'd have our little boxing match. We'll all bring gloves and shit and box at the skate park. It was so fucking stupid, but it was so much fun, dude. And you know, one day I was like, fuck it. Like, I saw so many people smoking weed all the time, and I was like, obviously, you know, as a kid, you get fucking, I was like 13, 14. I was like, I got super curious.
Yeah.
So I smoked weed, and then, like, you know, I fucking loved it, dude. Can't fucking lie about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know,
right.
like, I loved that shit, dude. And, you know, if I could smoke weed right now and not be fucking, like, and not go crazy with it, I'd totally do it, you know,
Yeah.
but I can't. And, so obviously I started smoking and shit. I didn't skate as much, you know. My sponsors fucking they fell off because there's a huge thing in skateboarding where a lot of people stopped making a lot of money, and it's just like skateboarding fell off for a little bit, it felt like. And I don't know, dude, like I, you know, went to, like, I was in high school and all this shit. I started selling weed, all this type of shit, and I was getting a lot of trouble, ditching school. I'm you know, living in Chandler, and you know, I always, the thing is, I always did this shit. I was like, you know, smoking weed and, like, you know, selling all this type of shit, but I still had this creative side to me.
Yeah.
I still wanted to like, you know, I still wanted to get a camera. I'd still be online looking at shit like, oh my God, I want this video camera. I want this. Or I'd still be up to date on all the skate videos and all this type of shit. I still had that side to me, but I was so deep in just like other drugs and all this shit, drinking. And like soon enough, you know, I was like taking pills. They're called like Opanas. Yeah, I'd always take those, dude. And it was so fucked up. And soon enough, you know, obviously how the fucking thing works, like take Opanas, and then I'd like soon enough get into fucking heroin.
Yeah. And
that shit was definitely an eye opener, because I mean, when I first started, it was fucking great. Just like you were talking about oxys, it was fucking awesome, dude. I was having the time of my life, dude. And
doesn't last too long.
Yeah, it doesn't last long at all, dude.
Yeah.
It took me fucking less than 2 years to lose everything, for sure. And dude, I just like, my mom was just like, you know, she wanted me, she didn't understand everything. She's like, I want you to start over. I want you to, that was our thing, is like moving somewhere else to start over.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I want you to go to Prescott and go to Yavapai, and I'll pay for everything. And just stay there and fucking go to school. And, like, this is your chance, Gaige. And so, you know, I moved up there. I said yes. I moved up there. I stopped fucking around with a lot of shit. I just started smoking weed and drinking. And then, dude, I fucked it up so fast. I kind of realized about my life, it was just really fucked up at that point, because, like, I was selling weed there, and then like all I was doing, I had to just go to school. My food is paid for, everything was paid for. All I had to do is go to school. And I started selling weed, dude, because I'm just a greedy motherfucker, bro.
It's crazy how much we like rely on that whole like chaotic life, you know?
Dude,
like,
that is so fucking real, bro. Because like it was so crazy, because like when I moved from down here over to Prescott, it was like, it was too quiet for me.
Yeah.
It was too fucking chill for me, where I was like, dude, like, where's the fucking parties? Like, where are the fucking, like, fucking fights? I want to see some crazy shit, dude.
Yeah.
You know? And it was fucking weird, so I had to make something happen, you know?
Yeah.
I needed a rush. And yeah, dude, I got caught up fucking selling weed, and they arrested me and took dogs through my room, and fucking... And luckily they didn't find everything, because it was in my girlfriend at the time's room. And yeah, they took me to jail and shit. And it's really funny, dude, because I was in my room and they arrested me and everything. And they were just like, okay, like, you know, we're going to take you up the street. There's a jail right up the street. We're going to take you there. And I was like, okay, well, do I need to bring my phone? What do I need to bring? I've never been to jail before. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And they're like, oh, well, you can leave your phone here. You'll be out. Like, you're just getting what is it? Just a paraphernalia charge and blah, blah. We charge possession. And they're like, you'll probably be out in 24 hours. So you can just leave your stuff here. And they're like, oh, you got to cut off one of your bracelets and all this shit. So I did all that. And I left my phone there. And I get to this jail. And they intake me and blah, blah. And I fucking, dude, I'm there for like 2 hours. And they're like, oh, we got to, they're like, the guards came up or whatever. And they're just like, okay, we got to, we're going to transfer you guys. And I was like, wait, fucking, I was like, transfer me? What are you talking about, transfer me? And they fucking put us in shackles and shit. And they took us 2 hours away to another jail. And I was fucking shitting my pants, dude, because I was like, dude, I am so far. I don't know how to get back. I didn't have my wallet, dude. I didn't have fucking anything. And
where was this at?
This is all in Prescott.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is all in Prescott. And where they took me was Camp Verde. That's where it was, Camp Verde jail.
Okay.
And it was just really, it was actually about 70 miles away from each other.
Yeah.
The one jail I went to and the other jail. And craziest story happened though. It was like some weird shit. And I was there and I met all these guys. There's a lot of tweakers in there and shit. And they were just like they were trying to take care of me, which is really weird, dude. They're like just talking to me and just like, oh, what are you in for? I was like, dude, I just got caught up with weed. And they're like, dude, you shouldn't even fucking be in here. That's crazy. And And it was just so crazy because I was like, the one thing I don't want to do is call my mom.
Yeah.
After I get out, I don't want to call my mom and fucking let her know what happened. I just need to show back up at Yavapai. And it was right before winter break, so I was going to have my mom pick me up and just act like nothing even happened. Yeah. But, I mean, I got expelled from that school. But I'd rather tell her that later, you know? Yeah. And so fucking, I'm there, dude, and this guy was just like, hey, like, how are you going to get back over there? Because I told him everything. I was like, Yavapai. He's like, how are you going to get back over there? And I was like, dude, I don't fucking know. And I was like, I might honestly, like, hitchhike or something. And he's like, you know, there's no one out here, right? You're not going to find any cars for at least like 3 miles. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how am I supposed to get back? And he's like, I actually do, you know, the green taxi cabs?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I actually like, I work with the green taxi cab people. And he's like, you just need to remember this number. And when you get out, call this number and tell him that, I don't remember his name. It was like Jim or something. He's like, tell him Jim said that you guys can come pick me up and take me back to Yavapai. And cool. He's like, yeah, they'll do it for free.
Yeah. And
so I got out, and he kept telling me this number to remember, and it was like 555. It was something easy, you know, a taxi cab. Yeah, it was something super easy. I was like, all right, dude, I got it.
Yeah.
And I got fucking out, dude, and he fucking and he was like, all right, remember the number and blah, blah. And I got out, tried to call the number. I called it. And they were just like, hey, we can't come out there and get you. That is so fucking far. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fuck, dude, well. And that was the one phone call I had. Yeah. And I was like, all right, then. And I walk outside, dude, and it's daytime the next day. And I was just like, fuck, dude, what am I going to fucking do? Like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I can hitchhike. I don't know. And I was like, you know, maybe I can just call my mom. And I fucking went outside, and I look over and start walking. There's a green taxi cab sitting right there.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, yo, like, what the fuck? And I went, and there's this lady outside of it smoking a cigarette. And I went up to her. I was like, hey, like, can you please just take me back to Yavapai? My wallet's there. I'll give you fucking whatever money you need. I'll pay you extra if you just take me back to Yavapai. And she was like, well, she's like, I can't take you back. That is so far away. And I was like, please, can you just do it? This guy fucking named Jim in there or something told me that if I tell you guys that, you'll take me back. And she's like, wait, Jim, Jim? And she's like, I'm waiting for him right now. I just bailed him out.
Oh,
and shit. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
I was like, wait, you're bailing him out right now. And she's like, yeah, like, just wait here with me, and we'll wait for him. And he got out, dude. He didn't even know he was getting out, and fucking.
That's the luckiest situation ever.
Dude, literally, and it was like a love story because like I saw them meet, and like he was just so happy, and they were like kissing. He's like, yes. He's like, dude. He's like, he saw me. He's like, what the fuck? He's like, I didn't even know I was getting out. Oh, and man. They're like, let's go. We'll take you. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? It was the funniest shit. And then, it's just really weird because he took me. It's just some weird shit, actually, when I think back to it. But he's like, you want to come to my house? And I went to his house, and he, like, fucking rolled up a joint and smoked it with me. Just some old-ass fucking guy, dude. And he was like, all right, well, let's take you back to Yavapai. And he takes me back there. And it was crazy because I was like, okay, do you guys need that money? And he's like, you know what? He's like, I don't need that money. And he looks at me, and he's just like, dude, he's like, one thing I can tell about you, you have a good head on your shoulder. And I don't, he's like, you know, and I hope that, like, we'll see you again or blah, blah. And that was it, dude. And he left. And obviously, you know, my mom came and picked me up, and I ended up telling her about everything. And it was just fucking crazy, though, because I had a realization about my life where I was like, dude, like, I can't fucking do this, dude. I can't keep fucking getting in trouble and all this type of shit. And obviously, being 18 years old, I didn't fucking listen to that. I didn't care. And
did you ever meet Jim again?
No, never met him again.
Hey, Jim, if you're out there, here he is.
Hey, I'd love to give you that $70. That's $70, dude. Seriously.
That's awesome.
And you know, and like life after that, though, it was, you know, I tried to start getting sober after that. My mom was like, we can't. She's like, we can't fucking do this, dude. You know, like, we can't fucking keep supporting you when you're fucking up like this. And So she helped me get sober, and I've been to a few treatments and stuff, and had a few rough patches and all this type of shit. But you know, it's been fucking great right now, dude. And I fucking started a company called Lovely Club Always, and it's going good, dude. It's a fucking trip how much support I have with that, cause dude, and I know you relate with this, dude. I fucking went from having zero friends, from having like fucking no money in my bank account and nothing, dude, not a car and all this type of shit, to having money in my bank account, cool job, fucking a whole bunch of friends, more than I can ask for, and just like a life that I can actually love, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And that's like a fucking trip. And I'm not saying that you need to get sober in order to do that, but I'm saying that's the life you want to have, though, is just to be happy.
Yeah.
You know, and because that's all I want in my entire life, is just to be somewhat fucking happy.
I think a clear thing to like bring up is like sobriety isn't for everyone. You know, there are people that can manage it,
right?
But we're not.
Yeah.
We're not those people.
Yeah, dude. And that's one of the biggest things about this too, is just like, you know, just having that awareness that, you know, I can't manage this, but I have plenty of friends that smoke weed and drink, and they even do it around me and shit. And like, I'm not like tripping about it though, because, you know, I finally, something clicked in my head where it's like, I just can't do that. And I can tell you right now, like, yeah, I'm sober right now, but I don't know how I'll be in 2 years. To be real, I might start smoking weed in 2 years. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, but fucking like I started that clothing company, and it's crazy because I used to always have this thought. I was on Twitter, and there's this one dude that does like fashion, and he's a stylist and shit. His name's Ian Connor. And it was fucking ridiculous, dude, because like I'd see his profile, and he'd like, you know, he'd do collabs, and he'll make clothes and all this type of shit, and like style and be a model. And I'm like, dude, like, I was like, this fool is getting paid racks for doing this type of shit that almost anyone can fucking do. Yeah. And I was like, it looks like he just has fun too, which is ridiculous. And I was like, I started thinking about it, I was like, okay, I don't want to be a model, but I was like, it would kind of be cool to make clothes. Like, that would actually be like kind of fun, you know, because I've had plenty of friends that tried it, and it didn't end up successful, or they didn't really commit to it. Yeah. And, so I was like, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm going to try it. And my mom helped me start it out with just $500. And fucking we started that shit. And it's just fucking hard, dude, because just like we were talking about the whole passionate thing earlier, it's like I have so many friends that are such great fucking artists, dude, such great fucking people. And like I literally tell them, I will pay you for art, I'll pay you to make a design for me and all this type of shit, dude. And they'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm down, do it. And then they won't fucking send it over. They won't fucking do it, dude. Yeah. Because I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, if they're not necessarily passionate for it, if they don't care. But I'm like, dude, like, the whole thing about Lovely Club is I'm trying to give everyone a fucking platform. Yeah. And it's mainly out of Arizona. That's where I'm trying to get the platform, people, because Arizona does not have a name for fashion. It doesn't have a name for rapping. It doesn't have a name for any type of collective or anything like that. Yeah. And so that's what I'm fucking trying to do, is create something where all the people that are good artists and all the people that, you know, because it's not even just about the clothes, dude. It's just about, yo, you want to sell some art? I'll put that shit up, dude. Yeah. I'm trying to do like a photo gallery one day. I'm trying to do an art gallery one day, and like really make shit happen for all these people that don't have a name yet, or don't have the place to share their fucking perspective of what we were fucking talking about earlier, you know? And that's what I think that's going to be a big part of this podcast. So,
did you create Lovely Club and then decide to make t-shirts, or was that like side by side?
So I fucking, first of all, it's going to be Purple Heart. That was the real fucking name it was supposed to be, was Purple Heart. Yeah. And I wanted it to do that, and the only reason I didn't get to is because I was scared it's going to offend a lot of people. Honestly, I was scared that a lot of veterans and shit would be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you're remixing Purple Heart, and you've never even been in the military or anything. Yeah. So I did end up doing it, and I thought about something. I was like, Lovely Club, and it would be cool to have. I was like, it would be cool. I thought about this a long time ago. I was like, it'd be cool to make a company where the name isn't actually where the name catches you off guard, because you notice the logo, it's a Lovely Club, but it has Sice, and like you're like, what's so lovely about Sice? Like, what's so lovely about that? Well, the thing is, it's not lovely as in love is like romance and all this type of shit. It's love as in like beautiful, beautiful type of art, beautiful type of club where we all can share our same passion and put all that shit put it all together.
Yeah.
And so, and that was the whole little niche thing I brought to it, was just like, oh, it would be cool if it was Lovely Club, and we did the opposite though, bringing like dark art into it. So it just completely like throws people off. They're like, oh fuck, like Lovely Club, and then you go on the website and there's like a fucking noose or something, like that's why I just thought it would just be so fucking funny to throw people off like that and just be cool.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much made that. I came up with all that. Then like, had my changes and shit. I'm going through like trying to rebrand everything and change shit up, and like cuz dude, it's just like I'm just realizing that I've been trying to conform to everyone. I realize that I've been trying to fucking like listen to everyone and let them influence me, when it's like, it's my company. I need to do what I want to do. Yeah. As long as I make that shit, then I'm happy.
Another thing too is like, it's kind of like the whole trend setting thing. Like, you don't trend set by following.
You're so right, dude.
And it's just like with like music, when I hear, it's weird because like it's kind of a hipster thing to say, but like most of the artists, I just went through Spotify looking through all the artists. Most of the artists that I listen to, it's usually their first album.
Right, dude, you're so fucking right.
And so like if they were to keep that, not necessarily keep that style, but keep that mindset of like, I'm just gonna do me, rather than like, it's kind of like polishing a rock. Eventually you get rid of the curves and the character of the rock, and then you end up with something that everyone has,
Yeah, dude, I totally agree with that, because also all these artists get a label too, and then they have someone to fucking listen to and tell them how to run it. But also about like the first album thing, it's just like that's when, honestly, I feel like when they make their first album, they're like, that's when they're the most passionate about it. I don't think it's necessarily their peak, but I think that's when they're like, I want to do something that's going to catch someone's eye.
Another reason too is like,
or ear.
Another reason is because like that album is what got them into the label or whatever, and now they have a label to respond to, rather than like, that's why I have like good, like I love indie music too, because like,
I love indie music.
Like they keep it, because the record label doesn't put them in a box essentially, whereas with any other label they have to like conform to their producers or whatever. Yeah, dude, and like I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast, right? And they it was this podcast called No Jumper, and it's a great fucking podcast. And it's funny because this guy, Andy Dick is. Yeah. I know, random, but he was this guy Adam22 was interviewing him, and Andy Dick talked about how a lot of people have it's called astronauts or cosmonaut syndrome, where say like you talk to an astronaut or something, and they're like, yeah, I went to the moon, they're just like, well, what comes after that? They're just like, well, what is something better that you could do than going to the fucking moon? And I think a lot of rappers and a lot of like, artists go through that. When once they get in the label, they're like, oh, I got $2 million. I got fucking all the girls I want. They're like, why try to work even harder than I was my first album, like, makes sense.
So I thought it was like really cool that he brought that up, because I was like, damn, dude, that's so true. Like, once people start getting all that type of shit they always wanted, then it's like, well, why keep going? So
I mean, they have to keep going, like, to make money and stuff, but like that's where it is, it's like for the money, like,
it's for the money. But I'm saying, like, I'm trying to think of an example of a fucking artist that like has changed like so much, but like people will make like a hardcore fucking dope ass album, and then they get in a label or start to get money, and you notice their music starts like, of course they're still gonna make music, but it starts to kind of decrease a little bit. They're like don't give a fuck that much, you know.
I mean, I hate her, but Taylor Swift.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
That's a great example.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know her early. I don't really listen to her, but I know from like hearing from people like she's kind of sold out and whatnot. But
totally, dude. Totally. Right, that whole Miley Cyrus thing was fucking weird too. Do you know like how she went to fucking you know when she was like doing all the like when she was, you know, the Molly and fucking twerking and all that type of shit, and then she went from that to now like she doesn't smoke weed. She's a country girl now and all this type of shit. It's like it's some weird fucking shit, dude, because like a lot of shit was going around where she was, you know what a culture vulture is? It's a saying a lot in music now where it's like, oh, a culture vulture, where you'll latch onto something just to make money.
Oh, okay.
And like a lot of people were saying that about fucking Miley Cyrus, where she just latched on to all that shit just to make some money and shit to get relevant. Because the most relevant thing right now is fucking hip hop, dude.
Yeah.
It's beating Taylor Swift. It's beating all these Bruno Mars. It's beating all of them in the fucking charts, dude. Yeah. It is so fucking crazy.
I don't call it hip hop. I call it hip hop.
Oh, okay. yeah. Hip hop, yeah. I totally fucking get that.
Cause like I still listen to I whenever I listen to hip hop, like the last hip hop album I listened to was Kanye West's My Black Dark Twisted Fantasy or whatever.
What did you think about that?
Great album. Yes. I liked it. I bought like the one with the DVD and like the signed poster.
Did you see the short film for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's dope.
Yes, dude. It's all dope as fuck.
Yeah, and then after that, like I think I heard a couple of his next album, or whatever. I was like, like, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like, there's still like people like Mos Def, like Talib Kweli, MF Doom. Like they still make new stuff, and like that's kind of what I gravitate towards more. Like. As far as like
that real hip hop,
as far as hip hop is concerned, like I have a tough time relating when they're like talking about like, oh, all these bitches, all these hoes, like do cocaine, get fucked up, and when like I call it like intelligent rap, you know, like stuff that like has a story or something, you know, it's just more interesting to me.
Yeah, dude, I totally I relate with that for sure, because that shit's way more fucking interesting to me when someone has a story. Like, dude, Eminem's fucking old albums, dude, like that shit, like I would listen to and I could imagine fucking everything that's happening.
One of my favorite songs, Stan.
Yes, dude, that's Stan was literally that is one of the best songs I've really ever heard, because it's just like I can imagine fucking everything that's happening with it, and it's just like the way he spits on it, it makes you feel like he's going through it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's so fucking crazy.
More relatable to me.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, are you trying to wrap this first one up? Because we got.
Can we even see how long?
I don't even know, but it feels like fucking.
No, I think we got. It's going by bars, so we've got 2,036 bars. Whatever that is, but yeah, I think if you change. We should probably wrap it up and then talk about it.
All right, yeah. All right. Well, yeah, next time, fucking, let's do this. We're going to try to start doing this every week, by the way. And start coming out with this and having topics and bringing fucking guests on to interview. So it's going to definitely be cool. So
it's not set in stone, too, how it is, you know. It's going to be ever-changing.
Yeah, you guys are going to go through this with us, by the way. So, So yeah, dude. Well, fucking had fun.
That was dope.
Hell yeah. All right, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.